Hi, I'm Oscar Hillstrom and welcome to the Sci-Fi Show. In his press conferences, all makes sense to us now news, Daniel Radcliffe has revealed to GQ magazine that he was, well, pissed during the final Harry Potter movies. Obviously, Daniel is following in the footsteps of raging alcoholic British actors like Oliver Reed and Peter O'Toole. He was on the source most of the time and expressed an interest in not just having a few, but having a few too many. Good luck to Harry Potter fans looking through Deathly Hallows Part 2 for little signs that he might be tipsy on set.
I love this place, and so it's going to be very, very odd, I think, for all of us. And it's wonderful. And I just want to say that...
Kids, stay off that potion. Okay, seriously, this is beyond awesome, or perhaps beyond awful. Ron Howard, the director of Far, Far Away, has expressed interest in directing a live-action version of Mad Magazine's legendary Spy vs. Spy comic strip. I'm sorry, but it's either going to be so awesome or so awful that the entire world will either scream or howl with delight or disgust. Either way, I want to see what happens. In If You're a Zombie Fan, This Is So Awesome You Can't Believe It news, Brad Pitt is in fact going to star in World War Z. Mark Foster, who directed Quantum of Solace, is directing Max Brooks's incredible saga of a post-apocalyptic world where the stories of zombie attacks and zombie wars and zombie battles are retold to a journalist scouring the world. Now, the interesting thing about this is, of course, that Brad Pitt snatched the rights away from Leonardo DiCaprio in 2007 so that he himself could star in it. Now, the shoot is currently in Malta and will go on to Glasgow, the knifing capital of the world, where it will become a war-torn Philadelphia filled with people wandering the streets going, So obviously a great deal of set dressing and extras will be required for that one. I'm pretty excited about Cowboys and Aliens, which is releasing August 18th of this year. And what makes the selling of this film a little bit different is that Jon Favreau, the director, is actually interviewing his stars and his producer. Yeah, that's all well and good, you say, but his star is Harrison Ford and his producer is Steven Spielberg, who hops in with his good mate Brian Grazer and his other good mate Ron Howard. This is high-powered geekdom at its best. The most interesting thing about this lot is that Harrison Ford doesn't come across as a boring curmudgeon, which he usually does with the usual press. The really interesting thing is when Harrison talks candidly about sci-fi, about Star Wars, and a few other things.
A lot of the great moments that that you were involved with films were ideas that actually came out of the collaborative process. Like the Ewoks were your idea, right? You
Yeah, they're still
that was
idea.
yours.
Yeah,
The voiceover from Blade Runner, that was yours. Any others we could think of?
No,
Right,
no,
no.
these are not the good ones.
Those aren't the ones?
No, they're not. There was a moment in it when Han Solo was about to be frozen into carbonite, and finally the princess reveals her great love for him, and her line is, "I love you." And George had artfully contrived for Han Solo to say, "I love you too."
Right. No, not for you.
Well, I thought it was a lost opportunity.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, this character never behaved so unabashedly emotional and conventional. You want your badasses to be a badass to the end. You want them to go down the way they lived. So I said, I mean, what's the last thing a woman wants to hear when she says, "I love you"? She says, "I love you," and I say,
"Fuck off."